Well, hello there, Capricorn. How are you? It is so good to see you again. I'm Mary Sue, and I'm so grateful that you're here. Happy New Year. I hope your year is off to a great start. So today we are going to be taking a look at the 3 months of January, February, and March. I already put up your 2024 general reading, and I'll have that linked at the end of this video. But today we're going to take a look at the specific energies of January, February, March, any areas of resistance or obstacles on your path, and of course advice from spirit. And if you're enjoying the content that I create, I really appreciate it if you would consider liking, commenting, or subscribing. I really do appreciate all of your support. Okay, let's get into it. Let's see what you have. Fellow travelers, support is all around you. I love that. Cow Spirit, the miracles are endless. Oh my goodness. One of my very favorite cards is the Cow Spirit. This is an energy where you could have felt, we do have Pluto moving out of your sign and into Aquarius on January 25th. 21st. And, that's been a 15-year transit and in your first house. So that is the house of your identity, of how you identify yourself, the labels that you put on yourself or that you feel, the roles that you play or the roles that you feel other people want you to play, okay? It's how you identify yourself. And with this energy, I feel as if you have for a long time kind of been on a path where you may feel as if you've been traveling by yourself, okay? Focusing on learning more about who you are. And you could have shed over the last 15 years, you could have shed a lot of roles, okay? So that could be in relationships. You could have gotten married or you could have gotten divorced. Your children, you may have had children come into your life, or you could have had your children grow and leave the nest. You could have, become a grandparent. The energy here is, you could have retired. You could have gone back to the workplace. The roles that you play, okay, in your life have changed significantly, perhaps over the last 15 years. And this has helped you to identify closer to who you truly are, your special gifts, your special talents, what you bring to this world, why you are here. That is all about the first house, right? Now, this journey may have at times made you feel as if you were traveling by yourself. Now, as Pluto is moving into your second house of material things, of self-confidence, of self-esteem, of how you relate to other people, right? All of a sudden, there's miracles on your path. And I feel like, really, Capricorn, this is because you've done the deep dive into who you truly are. You're no longer aligning to those roles or those identities that you may have been conditioned to believe are true about you, right? From childhood or from experiences that you have had in your life. So you could have transformed significantly because Pluto is the Scorpion energy of the Death card in Tarot. Something has to come to an end. Some identity around yourself had to come to an end so that you could transform into a new identity. And at this moment, it's kind of like you could even have shed so many relationships in your life, whether family, friend, work, or whatever. You've gone through that shedding, and now you're about to meet new people on your path. So this is a beautiful energy of manifesting exactly what it is that you want. There's a little bit of this energy where you understand you may not have to work so hard, because the Pluto and Capricorn energy really reflects your values around hard work, right? And I feel as if you could have really and truly worked yourself because you identified with the work that you do or how hard you work, okay? But it's also the energy of understanding you don't have to do it by yourself. The Pluto in Capricorn energy helps us, because Pluto is about the shadow side, helps us all to see where we may relate to how we compete or compare ourselves, or society compares us to other people. You could have been in a toxic work environment where you had an employer, a boss, supervisor that compared you to the other employees that you worked with, your other coworkers. Or you could have had relationships where you felt like you were competing against other people, perhaps your siblings within your family unit, or if you were in a relationship, right, like a long-term romantic relationship, that you had to compete for their affection, their love, their their love for you, okay, from other things. You were competing against, perhaps their career, their hobbies, their friends outside of the relationship, or even perhaps third party relationships. So this is an energy of understanding that you don't perhaps have to work quite as hard, okay, to acquire what it is that you want. The milk and honey card is your 10 of cups, knowing that what you truly desire will come to you when you allow yourself to dream and to see different options, different possibilities for things to come into your life, to manifest, to work with spirit, to work with others. Once again, this energy of you may have been going it alone, maybe feeling like you had to go alone, like you had nobody in your corner, right? So you felt like you had to go it alone. This is an energy of being able to come out of that as Pluto moves into Aquarius, because Aquarius is seeing the bigger picture, is imagining, is daydreaming, of understanding that anything is possible as long as we are willing to kind of like believe that anything is possible. Yeah, I feel like, you're kind of bending over backwards. It's the energy of finding the time to put into the things that bring you joy and happiness. So over the last 15 years, once again, that Pluto in your sign may have brought you the energy of feeling like your worth, your value, your role, your identity was tied to how hard you worked. Almost to an energy of perhaps feeling as if you had no options. Okay, so you could have been in Pluto could have helped you to understand that there are more options. You could have started in 2008 thinking your options were limited, okay? But because of the experiences that you have had over the last 15 years, you're understanding that there isn't just perhaps one way to do things. There can be other options. There can be other people on your journey that can help you. Some people may have betrayed you. Some people may have not helped you when you may have needed their help, right? But that doesn't mean that means all people are that way. So it's kind of like allowing you to see the bigger picture of life coming out of a time, because you have new supportive connections. I feel like you have shed people in your life that no longer were helping you to move towards what it is that you want. But I think you've also shed a lot of the mindsets about why you can't have what it is that you want. You have the 5 of Cups here, right? Perhaps at one time, I feel like you're coming out of this. At one time, you could have been kind of like stuck in the energy of what you have lost, okay? Kind of like, I have to admit, like when I got divorced, one of the things that I had to kind of like grieve was the energy of understanding that the dream that I had of being married to somebody and growing old with them and raising a family and enjoying our grandchildren, that dream died when we got divorced, right? It's kind of like, oh, that dream died. My role as a wife and a mother and a grandmother changed when I got divorced. But it's kind of like understanding, okay, but that gave me new opportunities to meet new people like you, Capricorn, right? To meet new people on my path. That when we step from one world to another, we have to, or one chapter from another, that we do have to leave behind sometimes things that we still kind of desire, but understanding that when we allow ourselves to see what we have, be grateful for what we have, be grateful for the new journey that we're on, the new path, when we can turn our energy to that, then what happens is that the new people, the new travelers, and the new relationships, the new miracles come our way. It's a beautiful energy of moving, right, towards loving yourself and expanding your horizons, right? Moving past the disappointments of the past. Seeing the silver lining of the disappointments of the past helps you to step into the sunshine. Yeah, it's beautiful. I really do feel like that Pluto in your sign for the last 15 years, probably you are definitely, and I know it's 15 years, we all change in 15 years, but if you look at the roles and your view of who you are, your identity, take some time to think about that, reflect about that. How have you changed? What have you learned on your path? What are you excited about as you move from, that first house, Pluto in first house, into Pluto in second house, which is all about how we relate to other people. So it's kind of like, what are you looking forward to, right? Understanding that what you have shed, the relationships that you have shed, are now making space for new people in your life. New fellow travelers, new people that will be on the journey for you as Pluto, especially for the next 20 years, as Pluto is in Aquarius. So let's take a look at January, okay? So in January, you have chaos and conflict, okay? You're understanding how perhaps your fears, okay, around chaos and conflict, of not wanting. Yeah, we have a lot of fives here, okay? We have a lot of fives here. So there's this energy of understanding that the conflicts that you may have had in the last 15 years, okay, or at least in 2023, look at that, okay? The conflicts that you may have had with other people, okay? How that has prevented you from stepping into this energy of embracing new people and new relationships, right? Because the Four of Pentacles is keeping ourselves safe. Okay, so let's take a look at that. So say in the last 15 years, you're like me and I got divorced. Okay, so you may have gotten divorced, and then with the Pentacles, you could have been wanting to hold on to your money. But by holding on to your money, maybe even hoarding, because this is a little bit of the miser, the hoarding energy. But by doing that, what have you kind of lost? Take a look at that. What have you lost and what have you gained out of that? There's a lesson there. If you've been really saving your money for something specific, okay, perhaps a big trip, a new home, a new car, whatever, then that's different because you're saving towards something. But if you're just holding your money, okay, and don't have it like earmarked for something in particular, okay, then what you're doing is you're stopping the flow of money into your life. You're also preventing yourself from being able to experience life. We're here to have experiences. We're here to enjoy life. We're not here to just make our pentacles and hold on to them, right? So it's taking a look at how you may have done that in this identity of I am lacking money, or I'm lacking funds, or there's not enough, or my identity is working longer and harder than everybody else so that I can be seen as the employee of the month or something like that, right? It's understanding getting the employee of the month. Is that an experience that your soul is wanting in this lifetime? Maybe it is. But if your soul is wanting to travel or to meet new people or to get out there and enjoy your creative endeavors, right? The hobbies that you enjoy, then asking yourself, by holding back your money, you're also holding back your joy in your life. And I feel like that is coming to a head in January, where Pluto is finally coming out of this transit the next couple of weeks, where Pluto is really going to try to clean out anything that is left around that. How do you identify yourself? Ask yourself, what adjectives do you describe yourself as, right? And you could even think about conversations you've had with friends or family members or coworkers lately. What adjectives would you describe yourself as, or what adjectives would you say the people in your life would describe you as? And then ask yourself, is that really in alignment with what my soul is desiring? Because I feel like there's something there, looking at the gap. Why is that gap there? And I feel like you're moving away from that. It's almost like you're getting one of those cards in Monopoly, get out of jail free. It's almost like you're getting out of that, because I feel with this Pluto in Capricorn in your first house, you've been kind of like tied to some type of identity. You found value in a certain type of identity, and you're allowing yourself to set yourself free with these fives here, right? With this Three of Swords, you're understanding that some mindset that you've had in the past that you may have been conditioned to believe as now allowing yourself to set free from that mindset and go towards meeting new people, new experiences, just almost like a celebration of life. I feel in such a beautiful way. It's truly this energy of summer is here at the end of the school year. Summer is here. School's out. I don't have to, no more rules, right? Time to have fun. So I really love that. Allow those energies that are coming up, those emotions. You could have some regrets at this time about wasted time. I've wasted so much time. I've worked so hard, and meanwhile, everybody around me is having fun, or I've held myself back from having fun. It's okay. Don't waste time having the regrets. Start planning on where it is that you want to go and what you would like to experience. Okay, so let's take a look at February. Yes. So you're truly looking at why you're stuck. Okay. I feel like in January, you're getting that epiphany of what has been holding you back. Right? That conditioned mindset, perhaps from childhood, that is holding you back. You're releasing a lot of that, but you're understanding, I have to take a look at what areas of my life are stuck in and why they're stuck. And I feel as if, once again, it's looking at that identity of yourself, because all that glitters is the energy around wearing a mask, wanting to portray ourselves differently to other people so that it will be pleasing to them instead of being our true authentic self. And you're trying to attract in, and you do have new people that want to come onto your path. So in February, I feel like you may have new people coming onto your path, but you may be kind of like reverting back, trying to appease them based on experiences that you've had in the past. Kind of like glossing over, okay? Perhaps some experiences that you have had or something. So let's dive deeper into this. Yeah, the wheel is turning, but something has to end. Something has to end. One more. Yes. Yeah, okay. So here's the thing. You have the Nine of Cups, and then you have the Five of Swords and the Seven of Swords. This energy where you're holding yourself back from something that you really want, because you may be fearful that if you allow yourself to go in this new direction, to meet new people, right, that there's something that you are going to have to allow yourself to express to them, to share who you truly are. So here's an interesting message that I'm getting, is that think about your work, right? When you're at work, those are not people that maybe know you on a personal level. They know you because of your work. And this is the energy where you could have gotten truly identified yourself through your work. Now you're stepping into these new connections, You're saying, I'm not just focusing on my career and my pentacles. I want to attract in new people that perhaps like to hike, like spending time in nature, right? Or like doing creative projects, that type of thing. But you have perhaps the last 15 years kind of like kept yourself in the same group of people, whether that's in work or family, friends. There hasn't been a huge shift in the people that are in your life. You have new people coming in, and it's almost like, I'm going to say, when I was a child, we moved quite a bit, like every 2 years. And sometimes I would have to move even during the school year. And when I would go that very first day to school, it was always kind of scary, right? I would want to fit in with the other kids. And they obviously would, at recess, it's kind of like they would put you in the middle of the circle and start asking you questions about yourself, right? And I remember as a child, after I'd gone through that a couple of times, I tried to kind of like practice. What is it? Who am I? Where have I been? It's like, I feel like that's what you're kind of doing. You're not really sure because there's so much internal change within you. You're not really sure who you are and how to express that to other people. Really interesting, because I feel like what you have to do is allow yourself, with the death card, is to transform, okay? Transform your identity of who you are. And this takes time. It doesn't happen overnight. But I feel like somebody new is coming onto your path, wanting to offer you friendship, love, the beginning of a new relationship of some time that you are going to want to put time and energy into. But it requires you to be kind of authentic with this person. And that is something that is fated for you to understand the transformation that you have gone through. Wow, beautiful energy. Kind of like being able to honestly speak to this person about what you have experienced, the transformation that you have gone through, and what it is that you would really like as you move forward. Now, here's the other thing is that when this card came out, okay, with these two, for some of you, this is probably not for many of you, but some of you, you may have felt as though you couldn't start living life until something happened, okay? So this is the energy of, you could have grown up where you can't go outside and play until you finish your homework, right? You can't have dessert until you eat your dinner. So there's something here about ending, okay? This energy of feeling as if one thing has to happen before something else can happen. It could be with romantic relationships. I have to lose 20 pounds before I can start dating and find the person of my dreams, right? There's also the energy of, feeling like you're betting, a little bit of betting on some windfall to happen, okay? Like some windfall will happen that will, like, you're holding out hope for a windfall to happen in order to go into your next chapter of life. So winning the lottery or getting some huge promotion or something like that. But that whole energy is holding you back from putting time and energy into what you truly love. Because it's kind of like you're spending time and energy thinking about something that may or may not happen, like winning the lottery, right? It may happen, but it may not happen. It's almost like you're betting on something happening or thinking something has to happen in order for you to have happiness and joy, because you have the 9 of Cups. You can't be happy until you meet the person of your dreams. You can't have financial security unless you win the lottery. right? But then by staying in that energy, the problem is that you're not spending time on those things that you truly love that are right in front of you. It's kind of like, my life will start when. It could be my life will start when I retire. My life will start when the kids leave the house, right? And I'm an empty nester. It's this constant, like, wasting of time. I think that's the energy. Wasting of time, waiting for something in the future to happen. But right now, right in front of you, okay, is the present. It's kind of like, don't waste time. I think that that's the key here. Don't waste time. Don't waste time waiting for something to happen. Start enjoying your life now. Wow. Okay. Because that is, wow. Okay. So this makes sense. Because then in March, look at this burst of energy. You have the Ace of Wands, you have great achievement, and then you have divine timing. I feel like you understand that the divine time is not sometime in the future. The divine time is now. It's time to take action right now. I think in March, you're having a fresh start. For some of you, I feel like you're ending something in February because you're kind of like, yeah, I keep waiting. Okay, I keep waiting to retire. I keep waiting for the kids to go to college, right? I keep waiting for whatever, right? And it's kind of like, wait a minute, what am I waiting for? You could even be looking back at your life because Capricorn's been in your first house of identity, understanding I've been doing this waiting my whole entire life, right? I know when I was, a new mom, you're sitting there, well, when they go to a kindergarten, then I'll start my own business. And then they go to kindergarten, life is still busy. And then it's like, well, when they go off to college, oh, they went off to college, but life is still busy, right? It's kind of like understanding some of those roles that we have never go away, but at the same time, we can transform them and we can take back our time and energy and put it towards those things that are more in alignment with what we want for ourselves, instead of wasting time waiting for the right opportunity, waiting for the lottery, waiting to retire, waiting for the kids to leave, right? It's kind of like, wait a minute, I can do it right now. I can find the time and energy to do what it is that I want. It does mean you have to transform your life. You have to find the time and energy in one area of your life. That might mean you have to hire somebody to do something, or you have to cut your hours, or you have to leave work on time, or you have to, I did this the other day. I was looking at my 2024 budget, right? And I was kind of like, okay, I looked at 2023 where money went, and I was like, I really would like to go do this. There's a trip I would really like to take, but where am I going to get that money, right? And it was kind of like, well, I can take it from these areas, take a little bit here, a little bit there. Okay, yep, then I would have the money I need for the trip. So it's kind of like taking a look at that, reassessing. Yeah. This is beautiful, and it's helping you to heal, because here we have, the Hierophant. This is the traditional way that you've been brought up to think, right? And especially with Pluto in Capricorn, your energy, right? It's like, okay, I can take what I was conditioned to believe, the tradition, right? The rules, the regulations, but I'm loving myself too. I'm allowing myself to look at what I truly believe instead of just what I have been told to believe, right? And I'm going to listen to my heart and understand that I don't have to follow all those rules. It's about getting really clear about what your core values are and going in that direction and knowing that you'll have victory in it. You don't have to do it the same way as everybody else does it, or the way that you were told to do it. This helps you to truly heal in a deep level, to be able to make some major, I think in 2024, you're making major changes in your life, because you're seeing how you maybe have been playing it so safe, but by playing it safe, you're also not enjoying life. Wow. What a beautiful energy there, Capricorn. I mean, I feel like the rest of your year is based on that, right? Kind of like, what can I experience? Yeah, I feel like you're going to be like a kid in a candy shop once you allow yourself to kind of explore things that you really and truly enjoy, allowing yourself to put time, energy, money towards what it is that you enjoy, and allowing yourself to truly enjoy life, instead of identifying yourself perhaps as someone that doesn't, that holds back, that, you know, confines themselves, that plays it safe, that never takes a risk, never has a thrill in your life, okay? It's time for a thrill. So let's pull a soul truth card. And Capricorn, I do personal readings. So if you're interested, the link is in the description box below. And I do have a specific 3-month. So if this has resonated with you, I have a 3-month reading that you may enjoy. So the link is in the description box. I'd really be honored to do a reading for you. Okay, what else could this mean? Yes, there are always multiple ways to look at every situation. That is exactly what this is. You have been ingrained to think there's only one way to do it. Our first reaction is usually rooted in our fears and limiting beliefs. Look at a situation today by stepping outside of the trigger and ask yourself, what else could this mean? So, in other words, it's kind of like, okay, you know, why am I holding myself back from enjoying life? Why do I feel like I have to identify with how hard I work or how much money I have or something like that? And you could even find that you are perhaps even wrestling with this within yourself. Look at your self-talk or the talk that you have with people that are close to you about how other people are spending their time and their energy, their money, right? That may give you a little bit of a clue as to, you know, how that may be affecting you. Are you projecting, okay, your sense of values in that onto other people, right? And I feel like you really are changing. You're kind of understanding. Yeah, looking at people and the different ways that they spend their time, their energy, their money, and really reassessing what works for me, right? It's not like you have to change everything, Capricorn, but it's looking at yourself and asking yourself, am I just trying to do what I'm supposed to do, or am I also enjoying life? All right, I'm going to leave it there. I wish you so much love and light, and I hope to see you again really soon. Bye for now.